have the pleasure of this special guest, Miranda Briseño, that is going to introduce us her magazine. Your magazine is about Gothic architecture. Why do you make it about this topic?
I made my magazine about this topic because when I was researching about the different types of architecture, this one really caught my attention the most. And also because when I was in Spain, when I saw these cathedrals with this architecture, they really seems very interesting and they all have a beautiful story behind it. And it's very beautiful and inspiring.
Thank you. Miranda, why would you recommend people to read your magazine?
I would recommend everyone to read this magazine because all of the behind story that the Gothic architecture have, the evolution, all that this architecture symbolize as the gargoyles, the stained glass, the height of the buildings, and also because this magazine is written in an entertaining way, so all ages can read it and
What
understand it.
elements make a building considered Gothic and not other medieval style?
I think that more stands up for is the pointed arches, the stained glass, and the super tall cathedrals. All of these characteristics make the Gothic architecture to seem very different from the other styles.
How did religion influence the design of Gothic architecture?
A lot because most of all the Gothic cathedrals were designed to show the divinity and greatness of God. All the high buildings, the stained glass that most of them relate stories about events of the Bible, all of these have to be with their religion.
Why do you think gargoyles and stained glass windows have such an impact in this style?
I find the gargoyles very surprising because they impact to the eye and also because they have different shapes and different meanings. Also are other types of sculptures also made from stone, and also the stained glass that not only but of the inside illumination they give, but also that they attract to the eye from the outside.
What was the great Miranda, do you know a lot about Gothic architecture? Do you know what was the worst challenge that the architect has to face?
Well, the constructors, for example, they had to face a big challenge by making these wall structures to get all these tall buildings so they don't fall. And also the architects had a lot of work by making these structures by hand because they don't have platforms like AutoCAD that the architects have now, but they have to do all manual, and also it was a very mathematical work.
Examples of Gothic architecture is still impressing visitors today. And why do you think they remain so admirable?
I think a very good example for this question is the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris because it's very enormous and it's very detailed, and I think that all of these things make people feel in another era. And for example, in Europe it's very common to see all these type of cathedrals, and they are very followed by the religious community.
About reading Divergent, why did you choose it and what was your favorite part?
I chose this reading for my magazine because I have been really enjoying this trilogy for several years, and also I really like all these series and films that are utopian. And for this magazine in specific, I feel that this reading gives a really beautiful message at the end, and also it's a very reading to discuss about the topic of internal conflict and external conflict.
Tell us about the conflict that you found in the reading.
Well, in the reading we can see both types of conflict, internal and external. I am going to talk to you about this specific character, the girl that jumped off the building. internal in her, we can see that she fight with her mind to have the will to jump off that building and don't knowing what is on the bottom of it. And external, we can see that man versus society, because they are imposing her to jump off the building so she can be part of the group.
Okay. Thank you, Miranda, for explaining to us the meaning about. Thank you, Thank you, Miranda, for explaining to us the meaning of your magazine. I would like you to teach us a message about the magazine or the reading.
Well, about the magazine, I would like to share to you that the meaning and what the Gothic architecture really symbolizes is not just an old building which seems very strange of what we see today, but it have a lot of many symbolizing and a very beautiful history behind it. And from the reading, for me, the message of this film and this very specific chapter is that you can't be but what other people say. You have to be yourself and you have to trust in yourself. And if you're sure that what are you going to do is what you like, then do it. Thank you.